Time these two met yesterday evening. The Fantastics came out on top 24 points to 0. So if that's any indication of what we can come to expect in this game.
Well, the tackling certainly from Barefoot has been ferocious so far, so I think they're up for this one. Determined it's not going to be the same.
Well, the winner of this will progress through to the Sun.Elite Cup final. Final game of this year's RugbySpy Ibiza 10s. Bit scrappy at the line out. It's been knocked forward by the Fantastics. So scrum down to Barefoot Project. Well, penalty to Barefoot Projects despite that huge push by the Fantastics in the scrum. Barefoot now trying to work their way downfield, and they've made it into the Fantastics half for the first time in this game. Big attempt at the counter ruck by Lastinaire. Penalised though, coming in at the side, number 11. Barefoot of numbers over the far side. It's a 4-on-2 if they can move the ball. Pressure on at the breakdown though. Fantastics have come away with it, picking up the spilled ball. Jake Wainwright taking it into contact. Well, that's a last-ditch tackle, holding onto his boot to stop him in his tracks. Getting the ball out wide. Wraps up the man is number 7, Romain Ducamp, and he's ushered into touch.
Really good pressure from the Fantastics. They were under the cosh, really under pressure, and kept their defence very solid, very organised, started to get some attacking tackles in, and eventually turned the tables, got possession, and got themselves onto the front foot.
Underarm throw at the line out for Barefoot Project. Now managing to move the ball into the midfield. A little bit flat in attack. We'll see how they can work this one. Ferocious by Barras of France for the 7 Fantastics. The Fantastics team made up of 5 different nationalities. Barefoot Project's going sideways.
Absolutely. Real setup there for Nunez. He'll tackle from the side like that, racing a man across all day if he has to. Katz goes back the other way, offloads out of the back. Little tap through doesn't work, and Barefoot have turned the ball over.
Well, that grubber from Jordan Lopez didn't really work. Barefoot trying to use some of their big ball carriers.
Good strip.
Altamirano finding his muscle and getting 5 metres. Lopez now on the outside, cuts back inside, just falls over as he looks to break through. Big carry by Barras. Katz in the midfield now. Winding ball out wide, almost breaking through there for Wainwright. Can they get over? What a ferocious drive through. And that was Gonzalo Nunez, who gets the opening score here in this semi-final. The 7 Fantastics with a great score, some industry shown there.
Yeah, tremendous pace they put on the attack. At last moved it into the wide open spaces, and even though he went through a man at the final score, it was good rugby.
Well, that speed bump didn't put Nunez off at all, did it? Turns to Sam Katz with a conversion while he's hit the upright, so unfortunately doesn't manage to convert that. The winner of this game will face the Wyvern Harlequins in the final later on this evening. Tap backwards but collected by Wainwright. He offloads to El Tamarano.
And the boy here I'm worried about from Barefoot took a real bang there, and quite rightly they've stopped play whatever.
And I think that's a score going in the corner. We perhaps just missed it slightly there whilst we were checking on the man who appears injured, but a second quick score in succession for the Seven Fantastics. Sam Katz gets some height on that conversion, but not enough length.
Yeah, sorry, I got a bit distracted there because the Barefoot player went down like a ton of bricks, and it was obvious straight away that this was quite a serious one. Looks to me to be certainly concussed. Let's just hope it's nothing worse.
Fingers crossed. Victor Sanchez, though, with the try, the second score for the Seven Fantastics. Very fortunate that this weekend we've got a great medical team out here in Ibiza at this RugbySpy tournament. Spoke to them last night after the final game, and they were delighted to say that there weren't any serious injuries, just a natural few bumps and bruises.
Yeah, it was pretty positive up to the end of the second day, because I think the worst they'd had to deal with was a dislocated finger and a few cuts and bruises, as you were saying. So, but this is worrying. Not too much movement from the Barefoot's player, and they're supporting his neck. Good. There is movement now. That's very, very, very good to see. Sitting up and looking as if he knows what's going on. Yeah, just moving his neck around, but it was, well, you can see he tried to get up there a couple of times, and the body wasn't working. Very good to see him walking off under his own steam. All is well.
Period of play did conclude with a try for Victor Sanchez, so Sam Katz of the Seven Fantastics will restart here. He sends that one really high. It's on the bounce. Has it been collected? Well, what a pickup. And what a pickup for Alexis Armory. A third try in the first half for the Seven Fantastics.
Yeah, all came from that magnificent restart dropout. Sam Katz putting it so high that you know, his support runners were able to get right to it. Wasn't dealt with well by the Barefoots, and a third try. Short again with the conversion attempt. Half time and 15-0. The Seven Fantastics lead.
When the players get there, Nomads running out of the line a little to try and challenge, but they've got the overlap on that left-hand side.
On the outside now, and they could be going all the way, and this could be the winning try. It needs to be a tap tackle if they're going to get there. Sudden death is over. Gets us back underway for the second half. Unfortunately, the Seven Fantastics offside, so a free kick to the Barefoot project on halfway. Did crash up. Good tackle though from Laporte. Still to go through the middle, but a combined tackle from Alton Minero. Wainwright stops him in his tracks. Can the Barefoot projects get away here?
Cats doing well in defence.
It's a bit of a maverick for the Fantastics. They have numbers if they can put the ball through their hands. Not managing to find their way around the outside. Well, great line there from a big ball carrier. He manages to get the offload back inside.
They are diving in over the top. And a first score for the Barefoots. At last managed to put a man, one of the big men, through the gap. They'll feel they're just about back into the game now. Can they convert this? Yes, they can. So it's 15-7.
Well, they've started this second half exceptionally well. A lot of their players coming on some really nice lines. A great angle.
Lovely little pop pass. The angle of the run was great too. That's what counts for everything. A little bit of timing to go with all the drills. Again, going for the big wide pass. certainly shaken up the Fantastics conceding that try. Suddenly they're tackling with a great deal more ferocity. Their way through out there. Holds on to possession, lays it back. Oh, that was a shocking attempt at the inside pass. Not sure what that signal actually means, but penalty it is when we restart to the Barefoot, sorry, to 7 Fantastic.
Well, Barefoot have a man down. He's just trying to shake it off. Fresh from scoring their second score, first score rather. Well, the kick to touch didn't have too much length on it, but it's a position to work from for the 7 Fantastics.
Good throw, good take. I think they're saying, she's saying it's an obstruction, that he must have run into one of his own men.
Bit of a silly mistake to give away the ball and field position with a bit of an obstruction. Barefoot just managing to get behind the defensive line. Couldn't find the offload. Still going forward now, keeping it tight.
Ferocious attempt to get over the ball there by Jake Wainwright. Doesn't manage it, in fact is penalised in the end. Into touch.
Well, as we approach the final quarter, it's 3 tries to 1. 7 Fantastics leading 15 points to the Barefoot Project 7. Free kick for the Fantastics, putting some pace on the ball. And here we go with number 16, Armory. Can he go all the way? Looks for the pass on the outside, and he's picked out Hoffmeister, who's going to go in for the score. Well, what a response. A great run in by the Fantastics.
Yeah, managed to work the man through the gap, and then the support runners for once got there and helped them turn the initial break into a score. There's been a bit of a lack of that in the last few minutes from their game. And Katz puts over the conversion, and that means that the Barefoot Project will have to score 3 times. Time running out, can't see that happening. That's really the match-winning score. Greg Hoffmeister. Katz with the restart. Bit too deep that time, didn't give a chance for his players to get underneath it, but he's put them under pressure deep in their territory, and that's all the main thing at this stage.
Big hit coming in from Jake Wainwright, a monster of a man in defence for the 7 Fantastics.
nicely set up. Did well at the breakdown there, protected the ball well. Stripped of it that time, but not releasing, says the referee. Well, I think that one was a bit harsh. I'd have said the Barefoot defender was certainly supporting his own weight on his feet, but the penalty given, and away it comes. Jordan Lopez bashing it up, and there he goes with the pass. It's the acting scrum half, Katz, showing it. He's going backwards at the moment, and he's doing a lot of sideways motion, but eventually his patience pays off. It's really well done for Lopez. Greg Hoffmeister in for another try, and well, all credit to that man, Katz. I thought he'd overdone it, thought he was actually running out of space, but in the end had the patience and the guile to make a gap for himself, went through it, and then a superb offload for the try. Makes the conversion just to finish the perfect score.
Well, they went through the phases there, and it was Katz early on whose quick hands in the midfield managed to keep the ball alive, and Lopez then boshing somebody off, and here he goes with a dummy and breaking through that outside arcing gap. Great offload over the inside shoulder to pick out Hoffmeister. And now Katz just being replaced, saving his legs for the final perhaps.
Yeah, I think that might well be their thinking. Job done, game absolutely secure, so let's rest our key man, make sure that nothing can happen to him. Well, they're going away. Julien Lastinaire from France thinks I'll get a bit of the action too now. And suddenly that gap becomes huge. 34-7 with the conversion to come. The conversion's good, 36-7, and the final whistle blows. A convincing win in the end in that semi-final for the Seven Fantastics. Valiant effort by the Barefoot Project Lions, but well beaten in the end. And this Seven Fantastic side is going to take some beating. There is confirmation of the final score, 36-7 to the Seven Fantastics.